What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Hotel Dusk. Last time, we needed to figure out which wine bottle belonged to Helen so I can give her the label as a souvenir from the hotel. Of course, this is pretty tricky, but you actually had to come to your room and pick up this aerosol bottle, which is supposed to get the label off. How am I supposed to know that? That's insane. Adhesive remover. Who has that? Like, who naturally has a bottle of adhesive remover in their homes? I didn't even know that was a thing. Alright. So we have the adhesive remover. We asked, or we deduced last time, which wine bottle would be hers. So now it's a matter of actually getting the wine bottle, removing the label, and giving it back to her. So let's go to the kitchen. If I remember correctly, the red wine is the bottle that's next to the microwave oven. So, left hallway, yes. Go, just open it, man. Don't even ask. You don't need to ask. You're a man. And I'm in the wrong one. Okay. That seems to happen a lot lately. All right, kitchen. It's this one, the restaurant. Why do I keep forgetting that? Okay. So, into the kitchen. Over to the... Oh, so slow. No running allowed. This should be the right one. Red wine. Yep, this is the one. Looks like there's still a bit of wine in the bottom of the bottle. I don't need the whole bottle, just the label. All right. Boop. I thought he was gonna drink it for a second. Like, come on, you drunk. You just had a bunch of whiskey. Or bourbon. Whoa! Kura Valley, 1967. Meet again? Is that significant in some way? Oh! Whoa! That... Alright, she's gonna love this. Is it not enough just to get the corners? Oh, no, of course not. What am I talking about? Alright, I feel like I'm really messing this thing up here. Boo 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 boo! Come on, say it. Boo 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 boo! Oh, okay. Let's not tear it. Easy does it. Kind of a lame suva. Do-do-do-do. There it is. Take your time. There we go. I take the wine label. Wonder what kind of memories this wine holds for the old gal. Guess it's time she and I had ourselves another chat. Alright. Let's go. So she's in room 212. Okay. This game is a lot less of figuring out my past and more about learning about everyone else's past. I can't even imagine what the sequel's like. He comes here for a second stay in a different room. I got distracted. 212. There we are. Helen! Helen! Oh, Mr. Hyde, what brings you here? Rosa has her hands full. She asked me to bring you this wine label. You came all this way just for me? Please come in. Don't mind if I do. Now tell me your secrets. I'm sorry you had to run all over the hotel for my sake. Don't worry about it. I got nothing better to do. Oh, Posh, I'm sure you're a very busy man. But now that you're here, please feel free to sit for a spell. My room is your room. Oh, okay. I just take off my pants, kick off my shoes, lean back, eat some Cheetos. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah? Oh, yes, dear. Don't you get excited when friends come to pay you a visit? Who said we're friends? Everyone likes to have visitors. And you're not just any visitor. I find your conversations quite peculiar, Mr. Hyde, but in a very good way. You make me feel like I did 10 years ago. Ba-ba-ba. What happened back then? What happened 10 years ago? Oh, nothing. I'm just reminiscing and making you curious enough by mentioning things but not clarifying them. The old gal is hiding something. Time to waterboard her. Time to drag it out of her. By force. But Mr. Hyde, I thought you brought a wine label for me. Why, yes, I did. Give her the adhesive remover. Spray it in her face. Like, take that! Here's your label. Oh, thank you. This is simply wonderful. It will make for such a nice memory. Okay, now what? Mind if I ask you? Ooh, we got the interrogation music. Light comes on, got a lamp in her face. Mind if I ask you something? And what would that be? Rosa said you shared that wine with someone a few years ago. Who was it? Does it really matter? Actually... except I was joking about actually yelling at her. Come on now. Just curious. It isn't the end of the world, but it's been bugging me for a while. Oh? You told me you've been here before. So when did you share a bottle of wine with someone? Mr. Hyde, you are persistent. If you must know, that day took place what? Yes, that's what we're talking about. So the guy you met 10 years ago, what happened to him? She looks pretty shaken up. Let me guess. I bet he's dead! You don't know, do you? You don't know where he is. I'm sure he's fine, it's just... we just haven't been in contact since that day. Who was this person? Bomb bomb. Oh, not yet. Here it comes. 2, 3, 4. Bomb bomb. 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about the person you met 10 years ago. You hate him. You hate him. The person is pretty special to you, right? Oh, yes. That person meant the world to me. But then you killed him! I betrayed him with a knife. Why don't you... What? Oh. I wouldn't think it would be hard to contact this mystery person. But I bet I know why you haven't. He forgot all about you. Oh, he could be a real dick. You think about him a lot, don't you? Oh yes, each and every day. I want so badly to see him again, but alas, I cannot. I can't bear the thought of causing the boy more grief. Aye, so he's a young man. He's your son, is he? How did you betray him? Why did you betray him? Because I'm selfish. Because I was thinking only of myself, of what I thought I wanted. I left him behind, Mr. Hyde. I abandoned him. Who is this mystery person? I think I know who you're talking about. But how? It's your son. Aha, I knew it! Kyle knows it, I know it, you know it. We all know it. Let's see if Rosa knows her hunches. Yes, that was the man I met 10 years ago. My only son. What's his name? Alan Parker? The author? Your son's name is Alan. This is no coinkydink. Your son's name is Alan. That's correct. Alan Parker. Nice name. We met here for dinner 10 years ago and then went our separate ways. Any chance you gave him a fountain pen? Why, yes, I did. But how on earth could you possibly know that? You gave him that pen, huh? Wait right here. What, does this have to do with Alan's pen? Yeah, give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. All right. So we need to show her the pen. And we gave the pen to Summers, who is in room 211. Okay, which is right here. Hey! Hey, coward! Give me that goddamn pen back. Who is it? Housekeeping! Do you have some new business with me, sir? Yeah, your fountain pen. I need it. My pen? But you gave it to me not 2 hours ago. Why do you now decide? Just give me the damn pen. All right. Give me that goddamn pen. Get back in your room. I take the fountain pen back from Summer. This should do it. At the risk of having your response delivered to the bridge of my nose. Don't ask. Very well. Summer gives me the wary eye and shuts the door. Alrighty, Helen. Helen! Helen! I've got your pen right here. Good evening, Mr. Hyde. Won't you come inside? Well, yes, I said I'd be right back. Come on now. Let me just throw this in your face. Just throw it. Ever seen this before? Where did you get this? It's his! It's my son's! It's your son's pen, huh? So this is your son's pen, huh? That's correct? I gave it to him 10 years ago and we were finally reunited. You had to be reunited? You were on the outs for a while, huh? It was because I left him behind. I abandoned him, Mr. Hyde. I walked out of his life. Mr. Hyde. What? You must tell me! How did that pen come to be in your possession? I found it in the restaurant. A guest dropped it. A guest dropped? So my son! That means Alan is in this hotel! No, he's not. But then, who dropped the pen if not him? A friend of his. Well, he's not much of a friend, actually. But why? How? Oh, this is all too much. Alan is missing. Guy with the pen is looking for him. My boy is missing? Please, Mr. Hyde, tell me that is not true! As I understand it, Alan wrote a book and this chump stole it from him. Sounds like your boy was shook up about it and vanished soon after. That can't be! Wish I had better news for you, but there it is. My son had always dreamed of being a writer. On that night 10 years ago, he told me that he'd almost achieved his dream. It was hard work, but I knew he would never give up. It was a dream after all. Oh, to think that it has been taken from him. It breaks my heart, it truly does. Yeah, that's a shame. Tell me about this theft, Mr. Hyde. Why? I want to find the man who stole his work and make him pay. Look, you're a tough broad and I like that, but it's too late. The guy who plagiarized your son's novel already fessed up. He's searching for your son so he can clear his things up and make amends. I think the real question is whether or not your son will forgive him. I have faith that he will forgive this man. I know my boy, Mr. Hyde. Alan will surely forgive him. You seem pretty sure. That's just the way he is. His heart is large, and he has forgiven greater trespasses before this. After all, he forgave his own mother for turning her back on him. She's finally gonna spill it. Mr. Hyde, may I implore you for a favor? Would you lend me your ear to a sad and shameful story? Years ago, you see, there lived an absolute fool of a woman. In her youth, she became enraptured with show business and magic. But soon she married and her husband convinced her to settle down. She agreed, but her secret heart yearned for a return to the lights and the glory. In time, the pull of the stage became too great, and she abandoned her family. At first, her return to the world of magic filled her life with color. She had chosen the path of the entertainer once more. It became her everything. The The woman lived for the moment when applause swept over her like a wave. But to her dismay, the more acclaim she received, the emptier she began to feel. Suddenly, being known as the greatest magician of all time mattered not. All she could think of was meeting the son she left behind so long ago. What a fool she was. So the woman sets up a meeting with her son. No, not at first. Their first encounter was a simple twist of fate. The woman had been called to perform at the grand opening of a new hotel. And by the strangest of chances, her son was invited to the same party. When she saw him, she was filled with fear and certain he would be enraged. But instead, he took her by the hand and forgave her. That day, they made a promise to each other. A promise to meet in 10 years at that same hotel. And 10 years later, they did that very thing. The boy told her of his own dream, of how he longed to become a writer. And the woman presented her son with a small fountain pen to help him on his way. It was the first and last gift she ever gave him, or so I hear. They made no more promises, arranged no more meetings. The year after meeting her son at the hotel, the woman quietly retired. And this time, she walked away from the stage for good. So where'd she go next? That is the end of my story, Mr. Hyde. Where she went and how she spent her days after that, no one knows. Well, you do. You know, because it's your life. What are you talking about, woman? Well, let me tell you what I heard. Oh? The woman's son told his thieving pal how much the hotel meant to him. Said it was his most special place in the world. A place filled with memories that he treasured more than anything. At least, that's what I heard. Oh, Mr. Hyde! I think you should have this pen. Maybe you can give it back to its owner someday. I don't have the words. Anyway, sorry to take up all your time. I'll see you around. Alan is Helen's son. Didn't see that one coming. Summer's going to do backflips when he hears this, and I'll probably have to tell him. Okay, Hyde, time to think. Take a second and get your thoughts together. Ha ha. Oh, this is a song. Just before 9, I made my way down to the bar for a couple of belts. Louis was working the bar, and doing a damn fine job of it. The next person to stumble into the bar was the woman, Iris, or was it Summer? Wait, was it Helen? Oh, you know what? It was Helen first. Then she leaves. Then okay, yeah, it's Helen. That's right. The old lady from 212, Helen Parker, was the next person to enter the bar. Me and Helen and I shot the breeze while she sipped a gimlet. The drink loosened her up, and she told me how she'd stayed here before. After a couple of drinks, I decided to split the bar. I picked Rosa and Dunning's brains to learn more about the hotel's history. I didn't get much, but what they did spill was pretty interesting. For one, the bar was built for the hotel's 10-year anniversary, which means the hotel was built 20 years ago. Also, I got Dunning to talk about when he took over the place. It was 3 years ago? I feel like 3 years is the big, it was like, yeah, 3 years is the big time when all the stuff went down, I think. Oh, no, that ain't it. Huh. 3 years ago was when all that crap with Bradley went. Yeah, right, okay. Back when I was still on the force. Okay. Come on! I get it! If it's not 3 years... Well, I have a 50-50 shot with getting this right, and personally, I don't remember if it's 5 or 6. So I'll just go with the first one. A nice odd number. Okay. 5 years ago. Put down cash on the barrelhead and took over that same day. Next, Rosa came by and made me deliver a wine label to Helen. After ransacking the whole place for the bottle, I finally got the label. What kind of wine was she drinking again? Red wine. Helen had a bottle of red. Went for the same stuff she had 10 years ago. When I dropped off the label, Helen was all... Whoa. Ugh. Helen was all smiles and started chatting me up. We got to talking about who she came here with 10 years ago. Her companion's name was Alan! It was her son Alan. I found out the pen Summer dropped is the same one Helen gave her son. I told Helen and she spilled her entire life story. I ain't much for sob stories, but I listened as patiently as I could. Helen told me that she left her son to become a magician! She left her family to pursue the dream, and it's tortured her ever since. Maybe she sleeps better tonight. Night has fallen over the city, and the hotel. Ooh, I'm so hard-boiled. I know the dark. It's a cover that lets people's bad sides run wild. Envy, doubt, grief, they all come out at night. Bradley, what do you think of at night? When the darkness comes? Twin brother darkness. I got until dawn to find out. You as cold as ice? Well, this is a perfect time to end this episode then. So stay tuned for the next one. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye!